Health Week 2021, second grade, lesson 2. Lesson 2, our food influences. Upon completion of this lesson, you will be able to recognize how feelings, people, and activities can influence food choices. Number 2, identify where you eat and how that influences what you eat. And number 3, be mindful of the 5 food groups when making food choices helps build healthy eating habits. Mindful breathing helps develop patience, coordination, focus, concentration, self-esteem, confidence, independence, self-regulation, teamwork, and cooperation. So when you can control your breathing, you can control yourself. We are going to be watching a video about a technique called balloon belly breathing. It will help you learn how to slow down your breathing, and it will allow you to relax and focus.
Fly with Abel and Phi.
Let's start breathing with a lot of attention. Let's breathe in and fill our belly like a big balloon. And now let's slowly let the air out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3.
We are going to look at some food influencers. So, who do you think influences your food choices or makes you think about your food choices or drives the choices that you get to make for your food? Probably first and foremost, your family influences your food choices. They're the ones, the grown-ups in your family, they're the ones who do the shopping, they're probably the ones who do the most cooking, they probably pick the restaurants that you eat at. So all of those things, you don't get to make your own choices about food necessarily. Sometimes if you're with friends, your friends might influence your food choices. So if you're hanging out and you're maybe not necessarily hungry, but your friend is hungry, you might just eat because your friend is eating. Most of you eat some of your meals at school. So if you are at school and you bought lunch, your choices are determined by what is available in the cafeteria. Your food influencer might be determined by the type of restaurant you go to. So a restaurant can influence your food choices because they might only have certain things that are available. So you have to choose from what is available. And sometimes commercials influence you by showing you a commercial that makes something look super delicious and yummy, and then that's all you can think about. So all of these words have an influence or an impact on your choices. So think about, like, if you go into a restaurant and you have something in mind that you want to eat, but then you go in and you see a picture of something else that looks super delicious, you might choose that instead. So you need to think about what you are eating. So you are going to watch a video and you are going to have an opportunity to be an influencer for your family, like this child. So this child's going to make lunch for their family. So maybe you can talk your family into letting you make lunch for them one day. Let's watch the video. So if your teacher attached your workbook page 13 in your Google Classroom, great. If they didn't, then you don't have to do it. It is entirely up to your teacher. But let's see what your family would like to eat for lunch. So think about some things that your family might like to eat. I want you to make sure that you include all 5 food groups. So you can either write it in your workbook or you can draw it. And if your teacher didn't include it, maybe you can just talk about it with somebody. So I am making lunch for my family today because they are coming over to watch the UCLA men's basketball game. Here's what we're going to eat. First, I need to cook up some steak from the protein group. Next, I need to grate some cheese. Next, I'm going to cut up some tomatoes. I'm also going to cut up some avocado. I will also be dicing some onion. I'll also be cutting up some peppers and cilantro. Have you guessed what we're going to have? I'm going to be making yummy tacos for the game. Which food groups did I include? So I included the protein group. I included the dairy group because I have cheese. Tomatoes are vegetables. Peppers are vegetables. Onions are vegetables. Avocado is a fruit. And I have the tortillas, which is a grain. So what a yummy, nutritious meal. 5 out of 5 food groups. My family is going to be so happy. Class recap. Recognize how feelings, people, and activities can influence your food choices. Identify where you eat and how that influences what you eat. And try to be mindful of the 5 food groups when making food choices that will help you build healthy eating habits. So be mindful of your food choices. Try and include at least one food from each of the 5 food groups for every meal. This lesson was brought to you by the Dairy Council of California and adapted for online learning by Miss Ford.